Hello and welcome to the A-List. I'm Marie Morgenthaler, and joining me on this edition is Racheal Kash, founder and president of Lulu Blossom. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So can you first tell us what is Lulu Blossom?
So Lulu Blossom is an all-natural beauty and bath care line that's vegan and vegetarian.
And where did you get the idea to come up with this company?
So basically, I went on a raw diet, became vegetarian, and I started reading labels on everything. And I was kind of shocked by all of the chemicals that were in everyday products that we use. So I started taking down all of the ingredients that had 100 syllables that I couldn't pronounce and just Googled them, and I'd find out what they were and then try to find out the natural alternative for them. So I took all the natural alternative ingredients and threw them together and came up with this milk and honey body lotion. So after I finished that, I started making face creams and sugar scrubs and everything else I could come up with in my kitchen and used it on myself and my family. So people really liked it, and so I decided I might have a product line that I could sell.
And when you say natural, what does that exactly mean?
So think of things that you would find in your kitchen, like, not everybody's kitchen, but coconut oil, but grapeseed oil. We use shea butters, cocoa butters, things that are naturally derived, that come from nature, things that you'd find from a tree or sometimes nuts, and, oils, things that are extracted naturally.
And how long have you been in business?
Well, so I started product development in mid-2010, and it took me a while to get all this stuff figured out, and we did the product testing to make sure that it wouldn't mold or any weird things would happen with the smell. So that took about a year and a half, and then we started selling in March of 2012. So we started doing international trade shows and trying to drum up customers to sell to. So,
was it just you, or did you have friends helping you?
No, it was mostly just me, and I guess I say we now because and I say this quite a bit, as my company's grown so much. We have retailers in Canada and all over the United States, so that this company has really turned into we because it's so much bigger than just any one person, meaning me. So, but I have 2 interns, and we just hired a sales manager, and we should have about 150 sales reps by the end of the year.
So when you first started, mixing all these different ingredients, where did you get the capital to start this?
I did just little batches of products. So our first product that we did was the body lotion, and I would order very small batches of the containers and things that I would just get at the grocery store, very small. So that money came from me, and then I would take the money that I made from selling those products and put it right back into the business. So we were dealing with a couple $100s here or there, and then it turned into a couple $1,000s here or there, and just started gradually growing.
So right now, how big is your business? You said you're in Canada now, and all over the United States. Yeah. So are you in Europe yet, or?
No, not Europe. I mean, we would love to go to Europe. And what's great about the federal government is they offer grants to people who are exporting because, of course, we import a lot of products into this country. But, the government and businesses can make money by exporting and selling to other countries. And so since I'm a female-owned business, they actually give you a grant. And it helps you pay for the majority of what it costs to export. So we're very anxious to do that, and we've had a lot of encouraging conversations with companies asking us to sell them our products. So I think we're going to try to go to Japan first. And
what do you think is in the future for your business? I mean, do you see yourself still having the company in 5 to 10 years, or?
Yeah, so I mean, what's important about having a business and putting money into it and watching it grow is having an exit strategy as well. And so for me, the way that I see this is growing this into at least a $10 million company. We'd like to be a household name, and we'd like to be selling across the world, all over the place. And then I would like to sell the business and stay on as a creative consultant. We have a men's line and a baby's line we'd like to do, and I'd also like to do makeup because makeup is so toxic. And then stay on as a creative consultant, and then sell the rest of my business. And I'd like to do motivational speaking about healthy living.
And so when you're making your products, what age group or who's your target audience?
That's a good question, because when I first started this, I thought everybody, just all girls, but it's more scientific than that. And so we're actually working with a media group right now trying to figure out who exactly our target market is. But what I've seen so far is, I would say, young women anywhere from 18 to 45. is really where our target is now, but we'll see.
So, in the bigger picture, what's it like to own your own business? And did you see yourself owning your own business maybe a few years back?
No. I mean, I went to college. I studied cultural anthropology. I was really into that, and I think the one thing that I took away from college with this experience is research. It really taught me how to do really good research, and that's how this all came about. With starting a business, I had no idea. I would say that being naive was probably the one thing that got me through all of that, because there's so many components to starting a business. I thought once I had the products, I thought, wow, I have a business. But there's so many other things that go into it. You know, the financial aspect of having a business is really important because that's where you make your money. So I had to learn a lot about that, and it's been really difficult, but also very rewarding, because I kept saying to myself, well, if everybody else can do that, then so can I. Why not? So I would teach myself, a little bit about this part of the business, and then I'd move on and find something else that I would have to learn. So I've learned a great deal, and I like working for myself, and I love the creative aspect of doing it. So
would you say luck has kind of played a part? Because a lot of people try to start their own businesses and they kind of fail.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the numbers are staggering. In the first 5 years that people own a business, 80% fail. And then after the next 5 years, so 10 years, 80% of those people fail. So the numbers are not really in our favor. But I do believe there's some luck. I think being at the right place at the right time is good. But there's so many other components that come into actually running a successful business.
So what was your original career path? I mean, you mentioned a little bit about your major in college.
Yeah, I really, after I got out of college, I did sales, and so that's actually helped me with this, and so that's really where I was going. I did some real estate when I lived in New York City, and sales was just something I've always felt really comfortable with. So that's really where I was going, and then after, changing my lifestyle with food, really changed my life and my career path, and this is where I ended up.
Well, you've brought some products for you to show us today. So how has Lulu Blossom changed your outlook on everyday skin products?
I think that it's made me realize that going back to nature can be such a great thing, because nature is really good for you. And I think it's also showing off products that can smell good and feel good and look good. Attractive packaging really makes a difference with people, consumers, and the way that they buy. And I think that this can kind of turn the table a little bit on what everybody else is doing as far as natural skincare, because a lot of it isn't really that good and it doesn't smell good or look good. So I'm hoping maybe this will encourage people to kind of go along this path and create better products and things that people really like.
So which products do you have here?
So I brought, this is a sugar scrub melt, and it basically is nothing like anything that's on the market. It's in the shape of a bar, so people quite often think that it's soap, and it is not soap at all. It is basically just a sugar scrub in a bar. So it's made with cocoa butters and shea butters. So when it hits the skin, it actually melts in. So it's not greasy at all, but you feel kind of like lathered up, and then the sugar's left to exfoliate. So you scrub it into the skin, and then you rinse off and get out of the shower. So that's a really fun product, and it smells like white icing and cupcakes. So that's a really nice product. And then also we have the same version. This is the sugar scrub. It does the exact same thing that this does, but this is in a tub, so you get more of it. And some people like to dip, and some people like to use the bar. So we did both of those. And then this is the first product I'd mentioned earlier that
So this was the very first one?
Yep, the very first product I ever made. And I never really liked lotions because a lot of times they're really greasy. And this one really soaks into the skin. It kind of gives you this powdery after feel. And it's a vegan product, so it's hard to find vegan lotions. And 100% natural. We use natural preservatives like grapefruit seed extract and vitamin E.
Now, what do you mean when you say vegan?
Vegan meaning no animal byproducts. So a lot of people get really confused about, they think, well, why would they put animal products in our skincare products? But a lot of it is like the oils, the sweat from the oil glands that come from lamb. That's lanolin, I think is what that is. And a lot of soaps, they use like animal fats and animal byproducts. So things that probably aren't so good for you and would probably clog your pores. So it's good to use the vegan and vegetarian products. And the difference between vegan and vegetarian when it comes to skincare products is usually either beeswax or honey. So like I use honey in this, so this isn't vegan, but this is. And then also I have this body balm, which is really nice. It's good for your hair, cuticles, anything dry. And it's made with just a couple easy ingredients like grapeseed oil, there's beeswax, and shea butter.
Oh. So, and you also have a couple other products that you didn't bring, like lip balm, correct?
Mm-hmm, we do lip balm. We have about 12 products within the line now. We have a travel size version of this coming out at the end of May. And then we also have a creamy face wash that's coming. And I've got lots of other products that we're going to come up with as well. But right now we have about 12 or 13.
Okay. Well, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for watching the A-List. I'm Marie Morgenthaler.